When the angels went away from them into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let us go over to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has made known to us." And they went with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the baby lying in a manger. And when they saw it, they made known the saying that had been told them concerning this child. And all who heard it wondered at what the shepherds told them. But Mary treasured up all these things, pondering them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen, as it had been told to them. Hello, friends. Paul Hahn here with Mission in North America, coming to you for the last time as coordinator of M&A. Back here you see on our kitchen table our little Advent wreath. We are in the third Sunday, the third week of Advent, in which we celebrate traditionally the joy of the shepherds. These shepherds, you know the stories if you've been in the church long, that they were the dregs of society, that they did not have the right to testify in court of law as a class of people. They had to be with the flocks all night in the fields. They slept on the cold, hard ground. They spent days and even weeks away from their families. They were not loved really by anybody as much as we love to love on them and see little boys in robes and turbans in our Christmas plays. But these are the very people that the angels announced the birth of Christ to first. These are the very people that ran to see Mary and Joseph and the Christ child born in a manger. These are the very ones who came running out afterwards, celebrating and wondering in this gospel after worshiping right in front of the Christ child in the wonders there of his birth. They went out and they rejoiced with exceedingly great joy at what they had seen. Think about those shepherds. They were going back to a life of sleeping on the ground even that very night. They were going back to their lives of grinding poverty and being on the very bottom end of things socially. They were going back to difficult family situations in which they were often away from their homes and their families. But there was inside of all of that suffering an exceedingly great joy for them because they had seen Jesus. Certainly this year for us in 2020 has been full of great suffering for all of us in various ways, and for some of us in very deep ways. But in that suffering, we can worship at the feet of God become man, of the Christ child, the one who came to give his life for us, who is Emmanuel, God with us, who is named Jesus, for he came to save his people from our sins. I want to say a final goodbye to you in this role. As coordinator, it's been a joy to serve you and to be a part of M&A and seeing the church strengthen in the gospel, to serve and grow and multiply, all because of the coming of Jesus into the world. Please keep Fran and I in your prayers as we head out to Los Angeles to serve in an interim pastor role at Pacific Crossroads Church there in LA, and be with those saints there, and to seek the renewing grace of Jesus there, to seek Jesus to come afresh into that place, into the lives of that congregation. So may the Lord continue to do great things through M&A. May the Lord continue to do great things in your life in this year ahead. But as we end 2020, a year full of so much suffering and pain and difficulty, into which we may be going back into, even now as the year ends and a new year will be dawning. May we have the joy of the Lord with us, that Christ has come for us. And if he's come for us, we can know that God will ultimately, together with him, freely give us all that we need. And now we have him. And in the middle of our sufferings, there can be joys for us unspeakable and even full of glory, the same kind of glory that the angels shone from the heavens onto the shepherds as they first announced the gospel of Christmas. So may we know the wonder of Jesus come for us, that we are his favored ones, and that we can have his joy, even and sometimes especially in the middle of our sufferings. Go in his peace and his love.